Hi everyone and welcome back to Newegg TV. My name is Paul and today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and overview of this new video card from MSI. This is the MSI R7970 2PMD 3GD5 OC. So let's take a closer look at the box here first of all. The R7970 here is referring to the GPU in this card, which is an AMD Radeon HD 7970, the newest and highest end AMD GPU that's available. This is the OC edition, so it comes overclocked out of the box from the manufacturer. The stock GPU core clock for the 7970 is 925 megahertz, and MSI is boosting this one up to 1010 megahertz. They're also using high-quality components, all-solid capacitors for maximum lifespan. You get the MSI Afterburner utility, which is a software utility that you can use to do overclocking and other tweaks to your graphics card. There's an AMD logo because this is an AMD-based video card. Supports Eyefinity, supports DirectX 11. We also have a 3-year manufacturer warranty from MSI, and do overclocking indicator here, which is saying the world's first GPU voltage control for enhanced overclocking capabilities. Here's some additional information about what you can do with the Afterburner utility. You can use it to handle that overvoltage function that was mentioned. Optimize your fan speed control for optimal cooling as well as sound generation. You can use it to help set up your multi-GPU mode if you're going to go with the Crossfire X configuration, also real-time video capturing, and you can wirelessly control it with Android and iOS devices. Some more information about the aluminum cores and their capacitors, and here's a feature list that I wanted to point out because this is a PCI Express Generation 3 card. It will work on a PCI-E 3.0 16-speed interface. Fear not if you've got a PCI-E 2.0 or 2.1 motherboard, because it is backwards compatible, and it's mainly a bandwidth gain that you get with PCI-E 3.0, which this card won't saturate the bandwidth in PCI-E 2.0. So don't worry if you've got a motherboard with PCI-E 2.0. Okay, you also get a 3 GB GDDR5 memory frame buffer. The memory runs at 1,375 megahertz for a total speed of 5.5 gigabits per second. You get 264 gigabytes per second memory bandwidth. It's got 2048 stream processors. It's got the newest GPU architecture from AMD, the GCN architecture, Eyefinity support, HD 3D support, HDMI 1.4, also a bunch of awesome sound features. If you're going to use the HDMI out for sound, you get 7.1 channel surround sound, as well as all of these additional utilities and technologies available through MSI and AMD. Let's move on with an unboxing, shall we? So here's a look at what comes inside the box. Just like that. We have plenty of padding here to protect the video card itself, which we're going to come back to in just a moment after we go over the unboxing. Alright, we got some foam packaging, we have a cardboard insert. Here we go, accessories. So you're going to get an MSI manual right there, which will guide you through installation processes, and yes, if you've never installed a graphics card before, that should help you out. You get a driver and utility CD or DVD, whichever it may be right here. That will have your Afterburner utility to install, as well as the driver for this video card. Now, since this is a brand new GPU architecture, they're going to be doing driver updates on a regular basis. There's actually have already been 2 driver updates just since this came out a few weeks ago. The 7970 series, that is, released a couple weeks ago. So go to the MSI website or the AMD website to download the latest drivers, because they're going to be really improving performance as well as compatibility for games. Right here is a little adapter, DVI to analog D-sub, which you can use if you have an older monitor. I don't know why you'd be using an analog monitor with this type of video card, but there it is. Here's an adapter. We'll take a 6-pin PCI Express power connector and transfer it to an 8-pin PCI Express power connector, which is usable if you don't have that 8-pin PCI Express power connector available, which needs to deliver 150 watts. Since I'm going over power, let's go over this one too. This one will also take 2 Molex plugs and transfer them to a 6-pin PCIe power connector. So you need a 6-pin and an 8-pin to power this card. You're going to need at minimum a 500 watt power supply, is what AMD is recommending. I always recommend you go over that, because that's for your entire system, the 500 watts, and you want to make sure you have plenty of overhead, especially if you're going to overclock or if you're going to add additional hardware in the future. This is an MSI Crossfire X Link, so you can use that to bridge two of the cards together. It looks like it's actually almost got quad spacing on that one. It's a pretty long ribbon, but you can scrunch it like that if your cards are closer together. This card's compatible with Crossfire X 2-card configurations as well as 3 and 4-card Crossfire X configurations. So if you're into multi-GPUs, you can do it. You can need a compatible motherboard, of course. This little adapter here will take a mini DisplayPort plug from the back of the video card and transfer it to a standard DisplayPort plug. So if you have a DisplayPort monitor, you can use that. Finally, you get this fold-out user's guide, which will take you through some of the installation steps and whatnot for installing the card. So here is the R7970, and for starters, I'm going to do a quick measurement because we always want to make sure it will fit inside our computer case. Measured from the bracket right here, it is just shy of 11 inches long. I believe the spec sheet is listing it at something like 10.87, but as long as you have 11 inches of space in your computer case, maybe a little bit more to give it some breathing room, you should be able to fit it. The cooler that MSI has put on this one is actually a shrouded cooler, so it's got a plastic shroud covering the entire video card here. This is a blower style fan right here that will push air along the card and eject it out the back of your PCI Express slot. This is a black shroud. It's got some red labeling here for MSI. Flipping around to this side, this is actually the side that you will see when it's installed in your computer case. So we got an MSI logo. Down here along this end is our power requirements. So again, you need a 6-pin PCI Express power connector there that delivers 75 of additional watts of power, and then an 8-pin PCI Express power connector there that can deliver up to 150 watts of power, and again, 500 watt minimum requirement on your power supply to power this video card. Over here along this end, we can see our Crossfire connectors. There's 2 of them. Again, you can do 2, 3, or 4-card Crossfire X solutions. Right next to that, we have a tiny, tiny little switch. You'll see there's a 1 and 2 slot right there. This is actually a BIOS switch. So simply physically switch it to one position or the other. You can use that to have your stock, or at least the manufacturer stock settings on one of these BIOS settings, and then you can simply switch it over. So if you wanted to do some messing around with Afterburner or do some overclock settings, switch it to the other position. You can save those settings, and then if you have any problems booting or getting up into the operating system, you can switch it back to stock in order to reset your defaults. Here on the bottom of the card, you can see there's a dark brown PCB. This is the bracket that's keeping the cooler firmly attached to the above the GPU. GPU's right underneath that. They've used Phillips head screws to mount the cooling solution, so that is removable. You will need to check the MSI warranty to see if you're going to void your warranty if you remove the cooling solution. That kind of varies from manufacturer to manufacturer. Over on this end, again, not much. This is a pretty much fully shrouded cooling solution here. There is a bit of a gap right there for some additional ventilation. And then finally, around on this end, we can see our video outs. This is a two-slot card, so you'll need 2 PCI slots available in your computer case next to of course, your 16-speed PCI Express connector. The upper slot here with the MSI logo is dedicated to exhaust, so that's where most of your exhaust from the card itself is going to eject out of the case. Down here on the bottom are your video outs. You got a couple DisplayPort. These are mini DisplayPort connectors. They're DisplayPort 1.2, so they can do 4K resolution. That's 4096 by 2160. Next to that, we have the HDMI out. This is HDMI 1.4a compatible HDMI output, which means it can do also do 4K resolution, 4096 by 2160. Also compatible with stereoscopic 3D if you've got the proper hardware and display available. And also can do 7.1 channel surround sound via the integrated sound chip on this video card as well. So pretty versatile there. Finally, you have a dual link DVI out, and that can push up to 2560 by 1600 resolution. And that's going to wrap it up for this video. Once again, this has been the MSI R7970 featuring the new AMD Radeon HD 7970 GPU, as well as a factory overclock of 1010 MHz from MSI. I'm Paul with Newegg TV. If you enjoyed today's video, please head over to our Newegg YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe for more tech videos. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time.